Hi there, it's Maria. I'm here today because our global women's gathering called Unveiling Our Vision is in 2 days, and I've been really preparing for this. And so I'm coming on today to talk to you more about it and to extend an invitation to join me. And so today is a live video, and it's going to be a really interactive conversation. That's my intention, is to be here fully present and engaged for all of you, and to have enough time so we can have a conversation and connect and talk about some of the meaningful ways that we show up for ourselves and for each other in our lives. And another big piece about today's session is wanting to clarify more about what the circle is and what the circle is not. Because, there's so many of us that are really craving and desiring, connection and to be seen and to be heard, and we want joy and creativity, and we want safety. And then we say no to circle. And it could be, hey there, it could be that we're saying no for a very practical, logical reason. Like you might already have prior commitments. But a lot of the times we say no because we're in a state of resistance, really. We're unable or afraid to fully open up and to receive the love and the joy and the connection that we desire, right? And we have this fear and this resistance because we have this voice in our head that says, I'm not enough. And I know we all have this voice. I have this voice. And this voice is really loud that says, I'm not enough. And that's why we stand in resistance to all the things that we want, right? So some of you are just joining, and I welcome you. I'm glad you're here. Today is a conversation, an interactive conversation about what circle is and what circle isn't, and why we crave connection, and we crave to be safe and to be seen and heard, and we crave love and joy, but then we stand in resistance to it because of this voice that I'm not enough is so loud. And so I encourage you, if you can resonate and identify with that voice in your head, then to put that in the comments and let me know what that voice sounds like for you. Because this week's live, I'm going to be here on Facebook, and then next week I'm going to jump off, and then I'm going to do it like I did last week. I'm going to be here, and then I'm going to jump off onto Instagram, because I want to do it so that we can have, this moment to really talk about and work through what that voice, I'm not enough, really feels like and sounds like, and a way to accept it, actually. And also, I'm here to invite you to sit in circle with me on Saturday on 12/12/2020 at 12 p.m. Central Time. Because the intention of the ceremony is called Unveiling Her Vision. It's about creating a container of safety, right? So that we can connect with ourselves, so that we can connect with our community, and we can connect with a higher intelligence, and that we can break through some of our limiting beliefs. And then from that new expanded place, we can go within. And then when we go within, we go under the veil, and we go on this vision quest, right? To envision our future. And then when we come out, we can stand and embody our worth, right? And so that is what the intention of the circle is. Because I want to talk about what circle is and what circle isn't, right? Because the circle is a safe place to be held and to be witnessed and to learn tools for our spiritual life and spiritual growth. But the circle is not the place to actually do the work. We learn the tools and we co-create. We learn the tools of co-creation, and then we apply them to our daily life. And the circle is also a place of companionship, right? But it's not really a place of competition, even though that kind of swells up in us, partially because we have that voice of that I'm not enough. And but it's really awesome because the circle is an opportunity for us to see. So through the eyes of the other women, we see ourselves. And through the ears of the other women, we can hear our message. Because the circle is a mirror. And it's an opportunity for us to remember our wholeness. And so there is a difference between, sometimes when you're sitting in circle, you feel a little uncomfortable. That is being in a growth zone. That's a stage of growth. That's not a reason to not show up to the circle because you're uncomfortable for a minute. Because that's part of the mirror that's being reflected back. And so that's something to actually embrace. And so for those of you that sit in circle, I'm curious, like what your experience is like in circle. What do you experience the things that I'm saying? And what else would you add that circle is for you? What else does it offer to you? And so I want to tell you a little bit about unveiling her vision, about the timing of this ceremony, because it's pretty kind of special, this timing. So it is, the date is 12/12/2020, but it's right in the kind of the end of this eclipse season. So we had an eclipse, a lunar eclipse, like 2 weeks ago, in a new moon. And then 2 days after our ceremony, there's going to be a full moon, and it's going to be a solar eclipse. And we're at the wheel of the year, the time of the year for those of us in the northern hemisphere, that we're going into the winter solstice. And the winter solstice is the darkest time of the year. And I've actually made a whole video about the winter solstice and self-care and guided meditations for the winter solstice. So I'll link them to this description. But part of the intention of this ceremony is to be able to manifest the lives that we want to live. And in order to do that, we kind of, like I said, we go on that vision quest and we go within. And then, so going within really means we go into the darkness and we go under a veil. And there is, in the alchemical world, there's this axiom that says, as above and so below, and as within, so without. And so we're microcosms, and we're little microcosms that are reflecting the macrocosm. And so while we're in this ceremony, we're going under the veil. That's like going into an eclipse. And then when we go within, going into the darkness, we're going into the darkest time of the year, like that's the solstice. So they're very much mirroring each other. And the thing about going into the darkness is, like, the darkness doesn't have to be something to be feared, because the darkness, that's the place where we go within and then we find our treasures. And then we find our hidden treasures, and then we can bring them out into the world. Another way to say that is we find ourselves, and we can birth ourselves and our gifts and our talents and who we're becoming into the world, and we can share ourselves with the world in a bigger way, in a more profound way, because we've gone inward. And so that's what the ceremony is all about, and that's what's happening within the ceremony, but that's also what's happening within our whole greater universe right now. And so what happens when we have the I'm not enough voice in our head, it really interferes interferes with our ability to show up, right? It interferes with our ability to say yes to sitting in circle. It interferes with our ability to go into the darkness because we're too afraid. It interferes with our intimacy and with our ability to connect. It interferes, even if we did get the vision, it interferes with our ability to share it with the world. And so this whole I'm not enough is really kind of holding us back. And so I would like to share with you a short 4-minute guided meditation to help you work with the I'm not enough voice in your head. And so if you'd like that, let me know in the comments. And I'm going to have a sip and we're going to go into it, okay? Okay, so let's just go ahead and sink right in. And we're going to drop right in. And I invite you to bring your awareness to your breath as you close your eyes. And sink inside your body. Sink into your hips, your legs, your feet, the floor, and into the earth. Breathing in and out naturally and comfortably. And bring your awareness now to the voice in your head that says, I'm not enough. And all the different variations that it says that you're not enough. And send that voice, feel that voice, and feel those words going down from your head, down, traveling down to the palm of your hand. You feel that voice and those words traveling down your arms, past your shoulders, past your elbows, past your wrists, down into the palms of your hands, as if you can hold them in the palms of your hands. You can feel the weight of the heaviness of the words and the sensation of I'm not enough in your hand. And now you feel that the whole I'm not enoughness in the palms of your hands. And just as you would a loved one or a small child, look at that and accept that and acknowledge it. Don't turn those words away, right? Those words are actually trying to help you. Those words are actually trying to protect you and to keep you safe, right? They're words, and they fit all the way in the palm of your hand. They fit in the palm of your hand. They don't need to take up your whole life. They fit in the palm of your hand, and they're there to help you and to protect you. And so they're a part of you. And just like we're learning how to love and accept all aspects of ourselves, we also learn to accept and love these words. But you can see how these words fit in the palm of your hand, and that you, my friend, are far bigger and far more capable than the limitations of these words. These words are tiny. They're in the palm of your hand. You're so much bigger than that. And so you can still show up and be fully present in your life and in your world. And you can show up in all the ways and engage with courage and bravery, even with the voice that says I'm not enough. You can show up right along with that voice. Taking a deep breath, feeling those words in your hand, feeling yourself even bigger than those words, showing up, knowing that this is true. Take a nice deep cleansing breath, rubbing your palms together and slowly opening your eyes. Acknowledging the fullness and the wholeness of yourself and loving all of yourself. Right? Very beautiful. So, welcome back. How did that feel to have those words leave your head, go into the palm of your hand, know that they're there to help you and protect you, and yet know that you're bigger than those words and you can show up right along with them? That's called integration and wholeness. We're not rejecting and getting rid of those voices. We're not just replacing them. It's sticking a Band-Aid on it and just pretending and just say a positive affirmation on top of it. No, we're owning it and embodying it and still showing up. And that's really powerful, and that's feminine power. And that's what we talk about, and that's what we do. And those are the tools and the skills we learn when we're sitting in circle. And so we have like so much to process and to move on from and to integrate with from 2020 before we can fully step into 2021. And we can't do it alone. We need each other, right? That's what the circle is for. And so that's why I'm inviting you to join us and doing the great work of the alchemy of remembering our wholeness and to co-create our future and envision in a future that we all want to live in, right? And so the invitation is to invite you and to bring a friend to join me this Saturday, 12/12/2020. And I really encourage you to bring your friends, because your friend, your sister, your cousin, your mother, your auntie, they need this just as much as you do. And I want you to bring a friend for free. And so when you go to the registration link, you'll see that there is a code that you can put in called Bring a Friend. And then when you do that, you put 2 tickets in, and then you put the code in, and then you're paying half price. Or your friend is coming for free. So there is important instructions in the description that you have to follow those explicitly in order for it to work. So please read the description to bring a friend. And I also want to remind you that what's coming up is just the beginning of what I'm going to dive into 2021. And so I've made a bunch of videos about what ceremony is and what circle is and this whole process. And so I'm linking those videos below also in the description so you can know more about it and know what's on the horizon and know how you can be a part of it. And I'm also inviting you and reminding you, like, if you're feeling like you would like to be held in a container and like to be a part of a global movement, because Unveiling Your Vision is a global synchronized event. There are hundreds of other circles happening that same weekend all over the world. So if you want to sit in circle with women in your local community, and it's going to be online, so we'll have our small circle, but then we're one of many, 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 many circles that's radiating out and amplifying out around the world. And if you want to be a part of something that's far bigger than what we can do by ourselves, then I invite you to join us and shine your light with us, and to not let this moment pass by, and don't let that voice of I'm not enough interfere, because it's just going to keep you small and keep you afraid. And then the next time something else cool will come up, and you'll still do the same voice, and you just keep listening to that. And I know you're bigger and you're better and you have full capacity to dive right in. And so I would like to stay on here for a moment, answer any questions if you have any questions about the ceremony. And I also really want to say thank you for listening in and for going and doing the work that we just did. It's really important work. And it feels like we're starting to wrap up. And so I'm going to say goodbye for now. Our work is done for now. And I'll see you at our next Facebook Live. I encourage you to jump on if you want to. Hop on to the conversation on Instagram. And hopefully I see you in the circle. And remember, my friend, always connect with your breath. Breathe deep. And walk in beauty. And I'll see you soon. Okay. Bye-bye.